Hello to all of you out there and welcome to another episode of No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. Now, as you know, we have been focusing on a season of No Ordinary Men and we've got a great guest lined up for you today. But before I get round to our guest, I would like to introduce a guest co-host today, and her name is Carla. Now, better known as Coach Carla. She's a life coach. She's also a vision board guru and runs vision board workshops. So without further ado, I am going to introduce you to my wonderful co-host for today, Carla.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me, Janelle. It feels really good to be on the set of No Ordinary Woman.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So before we get into our guest, how was your Christmas and New Year?
Christmas and New Year were absolutely fantastic. I was actually, preparing for one of my vision board workshops, which took place last week. It was fabulous. It was really, really good.
It was
because Janelle was there and Kaz, they were both there. So it was a full house. It took place at the Willesden Green Library, and we got so much goodness out of it. Really so it's just planning for 2019, and I'm honoured to be on the set of No Ordinary.
And you're going to have some more workshops coming up, so we'll tell you a bit more about that a bit later on. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our guest for today. It is Khonsu, one of the co-directors of Manhood Academy. Now, the Manhood Academy for Boys is a community-based organisation that is committed to making a difference in the lives of our youth and their families by being the change they wish to see in the world. The programme is 100% focused on guiding and supporting young people through the often challenging time of transitioning from childhood to adolescence and, of course, onward to young adulthood. They offer young men between the ages of 8 and 25 years, life-changing transformational workshops.
Yeah, and with branches based in Northwest London, the unique Cultural Rites of Passage programme works with boys and girls and families and offers a range of support service, which includes workshops, mentoring, one-to-one coaching. The programme also runs alongside the adult-focused sessions called the Parenthood Academy, which is open to bring about dialogue on the progression of parenthood for the millennials.
So they also run a flagship parallel programme for girls called the Womanhood Academy, which is based in East London in Dalston. So we're just going to get straight into it. Khonsu, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you, Janelle and Coach Carla. Thank you for having us. It's a blessing to be here. I was looking forward, I've been following you on social media. I've been looking forward to seeing the No Ordinary Woman cushions. I get a mug too.
Absolutely. You get a mug?
Thank you.
The drink tastes better in that mug.
Right? It does. It's enhanced taste. Yeah,
definitely. Tastes sweeter.
So, Khonsu, thank you for coming and talking to us today. Tell us about the Manhood Academy, how and why it started, and tell us about the services that you offer.
Okay. Well, the Manhood Academy, we started 3 years ago. 8 men who worked extensively in the community with our young people. We all chose to come together as a super team. And we met in a restaurant not far from me in South London, actually. I remember it was a vegetarian Ethiopian restaurant. And it was just like, brothers, what are we going to do? We're seeing what's happening in the news of our young people. And we do not want to passively sit here anymore and just observe what's happening. We want to be the change we wish to see in the world. So with that, we kick-started the Manhood Academy for Boys, and we've just expanded and grown since then, and we've done some amazing work with our young people in North and now West London.
So I know you have workshops, one-to-one coaching, but tell us a bit more about exactly what Manhood Academy consists of and the services that you offer.
Well, what do we teach? We teach our young people the things that they may not learn in school. They may learn as an extracurricular activity, but not as a group of boys that are all of the same culture. So we teach emotional intelligence. We teach social skills. We teach boys how to navigate the environment they're in different scenarios. We teach them about counteracting stereotypes. We all know about that. So we just teach them the skills that they'll need to enrich their lives as they grow into to young men and to adults.
Brilliant. And also, your Rites of Passage program, tell us about that and why is it so important for young black boys?
Rites of Passage. Well, I've written a book on Rites of Passage.
Brilliant.
So I could speak about that all day long.
We see you have your book here.
Yes, Sacred Man. Sacred Man. From boyhood to manhood to divine masculine. So it was inspired. I started off my journey working with young people with Origin Rites of Passage in South London. And that's been a good 15 years I worked with them, and they supported us, Manhood Academy, into our journey into creating what we created. But in the context of Rites of Passage, so what is Rites of Passage? Rites of Passage is time old, from the days of ancient, going back to biblical times and beyond. It was a prerequisite to womanhood and manhood. Right. You would be initiated into the village. Why? Because in those times, for example, let's take a village setting in Africa. There would have to be an exchange, a handover of who will maintain the village, who will protect the women and the children of the village from hostilities outside, who will build the village up, who will bring food to the village. So as the men became elder, they would initiate the younger boys and say, it's your turn now. We're going to teach you how to do this, how to be a man, so that you can take over. And we can sit back as the wise elders and do our role in our elder years. So it was actually a requisite in all cultures, not only African culture.
Absolutely.
This is, you know, you have the Jewish bar mitzvah, which is rites of passage. You have it in ancient India, in ancient China. It's a global thing, rites of passage. And it's been lost in modern times, you know. So we're bringing it back in a modern context. So we no longer live in a jungle or a forest, but we do live in an urban concrete jungle.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So the same rules apply. How do you survive the urban concrete jungle? So in essence, that's what Manhood Academy is about, and Womanhood Academy. How are our young people going to sustain themselves and their families and survive? And it's an emotional survival as opposed to a physical survival. We're not fighting lions and predators, etc. But you do have to have the social skills and emotional intelligence to survive and thrive.
Absolutely. So what does the Rites of Passage ceremony involve? Give us a little insight into a young person, for example, who would go through it. What kind of, what would they go through?
Well, generally, Rites of Passage is secret and sacred, and not secret in terms of shh, don't tell, shh, don't say. Not like that, but in the context of, say, at Manhood Academy, the parents bring their boys to the session, and the doors are closed, and all the parents are like, "What? Just make sure you have your lunch, you know." They're doing all that. Like, it's okay. It's
as
fine,
we do.
You know?
As we
it's okay. They're fine. They're gonna be fed. It's okay. Mom, you know, we're gonna take. And so they go off to their own session, the Parenthood Academy, where we kind of have an open dialogue on progressive parenting, spiritual parenting, and parenting the millennials, which is a whole different ball game to the old school style of parenting. So they go into a room and they're just given wisdom by wise elder men, men who have emotional intelligence, healthy elder men. We know in our community there's unhealthy elder men, okay? We see them outside the barber shops, so we see them outside the betting shops hanging out with a little plastic cup. No, but we're saying the prerequisite to being a member of Manhood Academy is you have to have a healthy outlook on life, and you have to be an emotionally healthy man, so you can teach the young people what you know.
I love that. So I love the fact that you've got the Manhood Academy, and you've also got the Parenthood.
The Parenthood Academy.
Okay, and then you have the Girlshood Academy. Is that correct? Yeah. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, we've got a flagship branch in Dalston, North London, the Womanhood Academy for girls. Also, a super team was created of vanguard women in our community, power women in our community. And they also came together as a super team with all different skill sets and created the Womanhood Academy for girls. So that's also thriving. Check out their Instagram, Womanhood Academy for Girls. And they've got video clips of all the works they're doing.
And is there a Rites of Passage program in that as well?
It is Rites of Passage, essentially. Manhood Academy, Womanhood Academy, Parenthood Academy is Rites of Passage. Rites of Passage traditionally comprises of a lifespan. It starts at birth. Okay, in indigenous African culture, birth is a rites of passage. So rites of passage is from birth until you ascend to the next realm, depending on your religious outlook, and all in between. So we're talking boyhood, girlhood, we're talking marriage, we're talking adulthood. I'm not doing it in the right order, by the way. We're talking elderhood and ancestry.
Right.
So in indigenous African culture, your job was not done when you passed away.
That's true.
Because then you became an ancestor.
That's true.
And, you know, the community would seek the guidance of the ancestors. We've heard that before, right? So rites of passage is a lifelong process.
And then you're carrying on that legacy, aren't you?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So many parents face challenges raising their children in today's society. So what do the Manhood Academy do to support?
Support the parents?
The parents, yeah.
Okay. Well, the first thing, Manhood Academy, West London, let's take that context. The first thing, I mean, day one, we say to the parents, hold up, where you going? Nope. You know, you can stay. Because we're used to that youth centre model.
Right.
You bring your child, they have a packet of crisps and a drink and say, okay, I'll come back in 2 hours. And we're like, that's not the model we work from. You are welcome to stay. We've got refreshments, you can hang out, and we can have a conversation about parenting. So the model is, you're not bringing your child, they fix my child, and I come back in 2 hours. It doesn't work like that. We will work on your child together, parents and Manhood Academy coaches and the young people themselves.
Do you know what? I love that because it brings about a holistic approach. You're right. Kind of all too often, it's about dropping your child off and then you going off and I don't know.
And then you
your
say,
hair
what have you
down.
done today?
Yeah.
And
Or
then
your nails done.
and
Starbucks.
you absolutely. And you do go back and say to your child, well, what did you do today? So it's nice to be able to actually be in that environment and actually see what they do and be part of that too. You know, and be part of those. I would call them critical conversations. Aren't they? Because they're very, very important. Very.
Definitely. And it's, like you said, it's critical conversations. And actually, to make it work, because they're only there for, say, for example, it is 2 hours. What happens when you leave?
Absolutely.
Organizations, and they're well known in the community. So coming together as a super team was not a walk in the park. We did have some challenges, and we still have ongoing challenges. And our focus really is the young people.
But I mean, I hear what you're saying in terms of, you know, bringing an organisation together and trying to build something. You're going to have the challenges with people because everybody's different and opinions different. But more so, I guess what I'm interested to understand is you're pioneering something that is tackling a problem from, I would say, from within. And so I'm thinking more about the challenges from without or outside. You know, whatever you want to call it, the system, the establishment, you know, people, even people around you saying, oh, it's not going to work, or, you know, you're wasting your time, you're never going to fix it. Those kinds of challenges. So tell us a bit about that.
You know, as you're asking me that question, I'm thinking, we haven't had any external challenges. We haven't had any organizations saying, no, you can't do this, or what you're doing should do it another way. We haven't had that. More so, we've had organizations coming and saying, we need you. Okay, we need you in our school, we need you in our college, even if it's for one day. Can you come down? More so that. We're a mainstream organization, so you know, that's how we present ourselves. And we present ourselves in a context that we work with boys of African origin, but we also work to an expanded demographic in terms of schools and colleges also, if that's needed. Urban youth, if you want to put a quote, unquote on it. Because as we know, our culture, African or black culture, is not to one culture. I mean, it's embraced. You could say hip-hop culture, for example. It's global. You have Orientals, Chinese, Indian, European, all young people, and they will speak the language, the vernacular, listen to the same music. So some of the challenges are in our community, and it's also external also. But our focus and our passion are boys of African origin. That's our focus. Other cultures have their youth centers where they teach, I don't know, they might teach Mandarin or Islam on a Saturday. So we have our own version of that. It's the traditional Saturday school model that we had, or you would say the Windrush generation. I remember when I was little, I went to boring Saturday school.
So did I. I was going to say.
Oh my gosh, maths on a Saturday.
It was so uninspiring.
I got out of that. I was lucky. I got out of it.
Oh gosh, I went to Saturday school and Sunday school.
Yeah, there you go. So it's that kind of model, but with a modern twist. Yeah.
And can I just ask a quick question? How do you measure the progress of your young boys? So I know that you've been going for the Manhood Academy, have now been going for 3 years. How are you measuring progress? Like for a mother or father that are saying, I want my son to go to the Manhood Academy. How are you? Yeah.
Fix my son.
Bye.
I'll come back in 3 hours.
How are you measuring them? Because, and also they go to school, so sometimes could your work be, you know, the work that they do on a Saturday and then they go to school on a Monday?
Yeah.
Are you ever fearful that, oh my gosh, the school could be undoing what you guys have implemented in these young individuals? So how are you measuring?
Well, we have had structures where we've created little workbooks and we've made a game of it. It's like a video game workbook, and you've got to get points, and they give it to their teacher in school. Oh. And it's based on, you know, how they navigated school. It's like, how can you navigate school? Can you stay focused? You know, can you manage yourself? Can you manage conflict in school? So they got little game cards where they go into school, and the teachers embrace it. They're like, fantastic, this helps me. Yeah, actually.
Love that.
So, you know, we do collaborate with schools as much as possible. In the future, we'll be doing much more of that. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I just also wanted to touch on the fact that rates of young boys going into pupil referral units have spiraled, actually. Yes. And have you thought about working with these units just to kind of capture and underpin the work that you're doing on a Saturday with our young boys?
That's the possibility. I mean, me personally, I work in a pupil referral unit. I actually work in a SEMH, which is like when you get expelled from a PRU, you come to us.
Oh, really?
Social, emotional, and mental health, school, therapeutic schools. So I'm like really in there with the high-end impact young children. It's definitely necessary in our schools, but that is really for the schools to come to us, which they are doing in increasing numbers, and just seeing the value in what we do.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So, in terms of that then, because it sounds like there's lots more to come from the academies. I won't just say Manhood Academy, but the academies. So what plans does Manhood Academy have for 2019, and have you got any upcoming events?
Well, 2019 has been a benchmark. December 8th, we just started a new branch, Manhood Academy West London. We're catering in a Latimer Road community, which is where the Grenfell tragedy happened, at the Curve Community Centre. So that's warming up very nicely. We've got a North London branch. We've branched to West London. We've got our eyes on South. You know, the Brixton area. I mean, come on. We've got to be in around the Brixton area.
You have to come to South London.
And East London. So that's the original plan we had when we met at that round table in South London. And that's still the plan. But we people keep on contacting us. Okay, we're in Birmingham.
Wow.
You know, we're in Manchester, we're in Wolverhampton, we're in Leeds. So, you know, there's a lot in the background that we're going to build upon and just get ourselves where we're needed. The only challenge is we all have day jobs, you know. So
don't we all?
You know, there has to be a process of it will be Manhood Academy actually being our day job, so we can do the work that we're destined to do.
And that's definitely going to happen, you know, because there's the need out there, but the results are there, and you know, more and more people are realizing that these kind of you know, holistic intervention programs are what's required to protect the future of our youth.
Protect the future,
you know. So for parents watching out there, on that point then, for parents watching or anybody watching out there who is interested in knowing more about Manhood Academy, how their young person can get involved with Manhood Academy, or if they want to get involved with the Parenthood Academy, or indeed Womanhood Academy, where can they find out more information?
Well, check us out on social media. The social media, my Manhood Academy West London branch, just type in Manhood Academy West. Hashtag Manhood Academy. Where's the camera?
Right over here.
Manhood Academy West. All right. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you want to get in contact, you could send us an email, info@Manhood Academy West. Very simple.
Very.
Okay. info@Manhood Academy West. But on our social media.
.co.uk.com.
of course, let me not forget that part. info@manhoodacademy.co.uk.
Brilliant.
info@manhoodacademy.co.uk. Send us an email. But first point of call is to check our Instagram. I'll say Manhood Academy West. And we've got our phone contact, email contact on there. And yeah, we'll connect that way.
And I'm sure there's people who probably want to volunteer as well, right? Get involved. They've got services and skills to give, and they just got a passion for giving back and helping the younger generation, you know, reaching their hand out to pull those up the ladder with them. So is it the same way that they can get in contact?
just go to our Instagram and send us an email, give us a call, and we welcome the community of healthy, emotionally intelligent people who just want to contribute and give their gifts to our young people.
And I like that, give their gifts to our young people. That's so important. That really is.
Well, it's been fantastic having you on
Thank you
the
for
show,
having us.
Khonsu. You know, keep doing what you guys are doing, because you're doing some great work out there, and you know, we salute you, really. We commend you. In terms of your book, where can people find your book?
My book, Sacred Man, From Boyhood to Manhood to Divine Masculine. All the things we just spoke about in this interview is in the book. So if you want something for your young person to read about becoming a man or the principles of manhood, it's a full colour book also.
Oh, we love that.
And it's interactive, so it's not boring black and white book, but it pretty much teaches the principles of what we teach at Manhood Academy. So check that out on Amazon, just put in Sacred Man, and you'll find me right there. Yeah,
and also I noticed, obviously you're now your West London branch, so you've got your leaflet actually promoting that. So where are you? At the Curve Community Centre?
The Curve Community Centre, which is W10. Nearest station is Latimer Road Underground Station. And that's my son on the cover.
Fantastic.
He's one of the poster boys from Manhood Academy.
We love that. We love that.
How old is your son?
He's 9 years old. He's 9 now. 9 in December. So, yeah, he's been there he's a day one. We've got some of our young people that are day ones, we call them. They've been there from the start. So
brilliant.
And some of our other
Big
children.
Up,
And your sessions run from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on a Saturday.
That's right, on a Saturday.
Fantastic. Lovely having you on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Thank you very much. And you know, maybe we'll have you back on again in the future. To track.
I'll get the team some more.
Bring
the team down next
Bring your
time.
son.
You guys next is you next. Okay.
Yes. Do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much. As we said, guys, another episode wrapping up and coming to an end of No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. Thank you very much for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed the show, and you know, if you want to find out more, then as Khonsu said, just check out Manhood Academy online. But until next time, please like, please subscribe, please share No Ordinary Woman Chat Show, a platform to inspire, and we hope you've been inspired. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And until next time, we are out of here.
Take care, guys.
Ciao. Bye.
Woman, you are the key. It's only natural. Woman, you are the start. You are the beginning, and that is a problem.